the hatch is missing trim work. You see trim work here around there, and consequently when you remove the hatch, which is a piece of sheetrock as shown here, when you remove that it falls down on you. It's very dangerous, so that's got to be corrected. This is wall inspection. What we're looking for is movement in the foundation reflected in the walls. Up here we've got a small crack. There's nothing really to be too worried about there. Now this corner elevation here is lifting. Probably that tree, that old tree there, been recently cut down by the look of it. In fact it's still alive, you can see it's still got fresh bark on it. That's probably responsible for this area of the building lifting, the tree roots underneath. Okay, there's evidence of differential settlement here. You've got a crack running down the wall to the foundation, and yeah, the building is sinking in this direction, rising in that. We've got another crack running down here, so there's settlement on the rear elevation reflected in the walls with cracks. We're now at the left elevation of the house, and here you can see a whole series of bricks coming loose as the building settles. We're now moving to the front elevation, and you can see we've got movement at the roof line. It's a horizontal crack running along the roof line here. There's cracks and movement up here, and then cracks around the garage opening here. We're at the right elevation now. And we've got movement up here and cracks. In addition to that, around the walls we've got poor condition of the siding here. We've got poor caulking and damage around there, sort of weather damage. Considerable rot here around the siding. That should be removed and replaced. And down here the trim work is all rotten at the bottom there. Now moving to the left elevation. Damage to the siding here, just weather, it's easily fixed there. And the caulking, poor caulking down here and here. I'm inspecting the walls inside the building now. We've got a settlement crack in the sheetrock here. It's over the door to the garage. We have another settlement crack here in the ceiling. The door's open and closed okay there, front door. And we're in the master bedroom. Settlement crank here over the door. Door frame is moving. Yeah, the door is now out of square. You can see you have a line up here. It's open at the top. So this whole door frame is distorting. There's a crack here over the top of the door. This door shuts okay. And we've got movement at the roof line here for the ceiling, and it's continually moving. This is recent because this has been painted over and it's opened up again. This is the window inspection. All the windows around the house have very poor caulking. It's best illustrated by this window here. You can see we've got a big hole to put my finger in. Loads of water, gallons of water will get into the building through those cracks. In addition, because of the settlement, this side of the building is sinking. You can see the line here on the roof line, and you also see where the window, the gap is opening up between the window and the wall. Well, that needs to be caulked before anything else is done, so that when it closes up there's not going to be any access for water. And the door here is relatively new, but this door too is badly caulked around it, and that needs to be caulked and fixed. So all the windows need recaulking. On this fireplace inspection, there's no gas logs or gas to the fireplace. Up here we have a damper. The damper is currently open. Let's see if we can close that damper. And it closes. Okay, yep, that closes and stays in place. No cracks around it. It's all in. This is the main breaker box. General Electric breaker box. It has no single throw and has more than 6 throws to isolate all the circuits. And where are we on the unit here? Heater unit, dryer. Can't identify where the AC is connected. Let's have a look. We're looking at the internal wiring and breakers for the main breaker box. We're on neutral and ground here. And a grounding wire, which is going out of the box. We'll be able to see whether or not it actually connects to a grounding bar. 2 hots here. We're at the electrical meter, and you can see down here we're looking for the grounding bar. There's no evidence of a ground at all. It could have a UFA ground. That's a ground that's actually in the foundation itself, but there's no way that I can check that. I'd recommend that an electrician is instructed to test the ground to make sure it's actually effective. Just check of the outlets. Here we've got an open ground, and there's no GFCI fitted. This is in both the bathroom, both the kitchen outlets either side of the sink, so we have open ground. Open ground here. This is the fridge. I have a grounding system in the fridge. Ground here, ground here. Ground. No power to that outlet. No power to that outlet. That's on the right of the fireplace. Ground. It's okay. Checks out. And then the small front bedroom. No power on the outlet, which is to the right of the bedroom door. I'm going to measure the performance of the AC unit. This is the return that we're looking at here. We're measuring it with the gun, the temperature gun. Got a maximum temperature of 80. Now we're going to look at the outlets. Start with the master bedroom, where it's very important we have cool air. And the air register is over the door. And we have a temperature here of 67. So that's a drop. 67, that's a drop of 13 degrees. We're really looking for a drop of 15 to 20. That's 65, 62, that's a good drop. So we've got a drop here of 18 degrees. There seems to be no cool air coming into this small bedroom. We've got a drop of 73. That's a 7-degree drop, so I'd say the air conditioning unit and system needs to be examined. We're now in the main family room, and we have a drop here. Not the minimum, not the maximum. We have a drop here of 61, which is good. That's a 19-degree drop. And this one's 61 is a 19-degree drop. Above us here is the air conditioning unit, and you can see that there's considerable rust in this area here, and there's rust here. There also, the screws are incorrect. They have to use metal screws to secure it. Now, because of that, I'm not going to take it apart. It's my experience that these units, if you take these, because this is basically a drip pan here, if you take them apart, it's almost impossible sometimes to get them back. And then I'd be responsible for paying for a repair, which I'm not prepared to do. I'm going to recommend that you have an air conditioning engineer look at the air conditioning system anyway, get a report from him on it, because the performance overall of a drop of between 13 and 19 is not good, and in some of the rooms the temperature is not dropping, it's staying quite hot. This is the functional flow test. We have the faucet on here, lots of water coming out, good, and we have lots of water coming out of the pump faucet. We're going to turn on the shower. Shower goes on, and there's sufficient water for someone to take a shower while the faucet is still running. This is the sewer clear out for the house. Cast iron, and from what I can see, they're blocked at the bottom there with debris. It's been blown in. This is the water meter to the house. Also the main shut-off valve is there. Hose bib for the house, and a shut-off valve here.